Hello, everyone. This is Jay Dobbins of the official Marvel DC Multiverse. We are now at episode 473, and I'll be doing a brief review on Joker, Folie Deux. So, spoiler alert: if you have not seen Joker, Folie Deux, I strongly suggest you do not listen to this episode. You've been warned. So, I'm going to be honest with you. This film is not really worth talking about, to be honest, but I promised you guys that I would review every Marvel and DC movie that comes out. So, but I'm gonna try and be as brief as I can because honestly, it's even painful to even talk about it or even think about it. But because I've talked about it to other people. I talked to other people about the film, and it was painful. So, but anyway, so the film starts off with an animated sequence, of course, of the Joker being impersonated by his shadow, who takes his place to perform his singing number for a TV show, and then abandons him on stage before three policemen arrive and beat him. So that's how it ends. So that was, first of all, I mean, watching that didn't make any sense to me. Why did we even do that? And you kind of wonder, like, okay, is this for that, show that talk show that he was on in the first film, or is it a different talk show? I don't know. But it's kind of weird. So, because obviously the singing number wasn't in the first film, so I don't know. It's kind of weird. But anyway, so of course he's in custody at the Arkham State Hospital, which should have been Arkham Asylum, which I don't know why they changed that. So yeah, of course he's awaiting trial for the crimes that he committed, and for some reason, I'm thinking that, okay, why did this film take place 2 years, 2 years after the incident? It's kind of weird. But anyway, so of course his attorney plans to argue the author has a dissociative identity disorder, that his Joker personality is responsible for the crimes. So, and of course he meets Harleen, or Lee Quinzel, which I don't know why they use the Harley Quinn alias. But she meets Arthur, and of course they interact. And of course, during a film screening of the Bandwagon in B Ward, she starts a fire. Therefore, they're caught trying to escape. But then, of course, they have a little musical thing, which is kind of weird. But you kind of wonder, is it real or is it in his head? I don't know. And of course, so then when the court's on the day of the trial, Assistant District Attorney Harvey Dent is prosecuting the case, of course. So, and of course, he calls two witnesses, a co-worker, Gary Puddles from the first film, who was the very short guy, I can think midget or whatever, and of course a neighbor, Sophie Dummin, played by ZZ Beats. So obviously she was alive, she was unharmed, obviously, in the first film. So, but anyway, they took the stand. Well, she took the stand, and I guess that's when Arthur fired his lawyer. Then, of course, so I guess he cross-examined Gary Puddles. But anyway, so there were several musicals, of course, which are freaking weird. So then, of course, he admits that it wasn't the Joker, it was actually him who committed the crimes. So obviously he's found guilty, and therefore there's an explosion. I guess a car bomb went off or whatever in the court, outside the courthouse, killing and injuring numerous attendees and scarring half of Harvey Dent's face. Obviously, that's when he becomes Two-Face. So they, of course, he escapes, and then of course the police later catch on with him. Of course, Harley Quinn, or Harleen, or Lee rather, just leaves, abandons him. Or rejects him, whatever. The police eventually catch up with him, and of course, a young inmate approaches Arthur and begins telling him a joke before repeatedly stabbing him in the abdomen. So Arthur bleeds to death, and the assailant carves a smile on his face while laughing hysterically. So obviously, that was the actual Joker, the real Joker, Batman's enemy. So obviously, but yeah. So then, and of course, I'm gonna be honest with you. I should have actually been more briefer. I should have been more brief about this, but I'm gonna try and just discuss. I'm gonna try and briefly discuss my take on it. So the film has made, I would say, $121 million. Sorry, $121.1 million worldwide, with a production budget of somewhere between 190 to 200 million. So obviously that was a waste of money and a waste of time on this film. And of course, Todd Phillips did alienate the fan base by not sticking to, by not staying true to the comics. First of all, instead they didn't even use Gotham City; they used New York City instead. So if the film takes place in New York City, then I'm guessing. So you're telling me that I'm guessing that Thomas Wayne and Martha Wayne were killed in New York City instead of Gotham City? The Waynes were never mentioned in the sequel. Neither was Bruce Wayne. So obviously, Todd Phillips wanted to do his own thing, obviously. And because of that, he pretty much alienated the fan base. Which is why this movie is obviously flopping, judging by the box office numbers. So, yeah, it was, the first film was a masterpiece, but then they did a sequel, and obviously it's like they went from turning dog crap into diamonds to reversing it, as in turning diamonds into dog crap, that type of thing. So, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man, it's bad. Like, I'm still trying to figure out, why why they even came up with the idea of making this film. They should have just left it alone with the first film. And another thing, too, the film was boring and messy. And I was upset about the movie's ending and how little, it used Lady Gaga's Harley Quinn. And it's like I said, all of that has seemingly led to me, obviously a lot of people have not showed up to this film as WB prepares to release it on, because I'm not going to be surprised if they release this on digital and streaming soon. But I'm going to be honest with you, this film is not worth watching a second time. I curse the day I even watched the film. And I'm going to be real with you guys, the film is not really worth watching. So, yeah, it's like, it's it didn't connect with me, and I'm pretty sure it didn't connect with most of the audience. So, and like the first film connected with me, you know, the second film did not, and I won't be surprised if other people will slam this film. So, yeah, he disappointed a lot of fans, and this film is. I don't think this film. Like I said, I knew this. I should have known that this film was not going to make $1 billion, and it was more of a musical than anything else. They didn't use Arkham Asylum. They didn't use Harley Quinn's alias. They didn't talk about the Waynes. Instead of using Gotham City, they used New York City instead. So, I'm going to be honest with you. Todd Phillips should be slapped for doing this, for even coming up with the idea of the sequel and agreeing to the doggone script. Because it's, oh my gosh, it's terrible. It's a huge dumpster fire, man. It's mega crap. And I'm going to use mega in all caps, pretty much. I wouldn't get this film. I wouldn't even get the DVD if it was free. So, yeah. Like I said, it had nothing to do with the comics. And it has nothing to do with the origin story, Like, I mean, because this is obviously Bruce Wayne is still a kid during this time. And it's like, Harvey Dent became Two-Face early. So, I don't know. It's bad. The writing was bad. The fact that they made this film a musical. I wish I didn't take my best friend to see this. Now, my best friend, she liked it. But obviously she never saw the first film, so of course she would say that. But, it's like, but yeah, Todd Phillips dropped the ball on this pretty much. And, everybody's like, I should like I say, when I did this, the first trailer, the trailer was better than the freaking movie, to be honest. So, I don't know, it was a very poor choice to make this film. And as far as the Rotten Tomato score, shoot, I'm pretty sure that's bad. It's not, because it's like unfocused and it's lacking a compelling enough plot to justify a sequel. And I'm gonna be honest with you, there were a lot of better Jokers in this, So it's like, like Todd Phillips pretty much, he without a doubt alienated the fan base, pretty much. So it's I'm gonna be honest with you, I should have been more brief, but it's I just wanted to I try to get straight to the point on this because it's it's bad. It gets a 0 out of 10. Or matter of fact, it's 0 out of 100. That's how bad this movie is. So it's like you kind of wonder like why. It's like it's like Todd Phillips just gave us the finger. Like, you know what, we don't care. I just want to do my own thing. Whatever. And now he just gave he just he didn't. Matter of fact, it's like you kind of wonder like what the heck is like DC Studios and Warner Bros. Just let him just do whatever the heck he wanted. Because that's what it sounds like. And by judging by the film, that's what it looks like as well. So, yeah. Waste of time and waste of money. And I'm pretty sure they're not going to get a return on that investment. Anytime, ever. So, but that concludes this review. Feel free to follow us on Instagram. We're available on iTunes, Spotify. That's right. Follow us on Instagram. We're available on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and of course, Twitch.